oftentimes recommend that the Black community, the Black American community, write a list of what Black American culture represents today. And I'm not talking about like a list of like the accomplishments of your ancestors or anything like that. I'm talking about what you think or what you want. Really, two lists. What actually represents the Black community versus, and then on the other list needs to be what you want it to represent, because we know that those can be two different things. Usually your intent is to show up a certain way, but that doesn't mean people are necessarily going to view you that way. So what does the Black community represent, right? And one of the things that I think about is that I understand that the Black community is very selective when it wants to be considered, or the people of the community want it to be considered a monolith. But other times when it's like somebody did something bad, it's not all Black, it's not all this, it's not all that, right? But like I said in another video, if I was to accomplish something and, you know, it was like 2 generations from now, if the community continues to go on the way that it is, you would claim my accomplishments, even though in my lifetime right now, nobody ain't fucking with me, right? And I'm not gonna say nobody. Of course, we have people in the community that do not think like this, but when you call out the community, it's somewhat of a bully culture where you're not allowed to speak truth. You will be gaslit out of your truth. You can't do it. And they will say, don't speak for all of us, but if I accomplish something, then I represent. It's just a lie. It's just nonsense. Thing to me that represents the Black community is the deep dives culture. So like online, because the internet is something new, this is why I say today in 2025 what represents us, because back in the day there was no internet. Black culture is really known for investigating people online, right? Investigating stories, gossiping, doing think pieces about people. This should be qualified as a part of Black culture and a strength of Black culture. And I think that Black people should keep the same energy when they want to claim a disastrous story or someone's accomplishments and do a deep dive and figure out the ancestry of those people. So for instance, if you have a woman who is being mistreated in the hospital, right? We've heard stories about this, and she has Black skin, the Black community will claim it and say, look how they're treating this Black woman. Black women do not get any attention, and Black women this and Black women that. And that is a true statement. But because of the rhetoric of the community, where when somebody calls you out, you don't want to claim that person as Black unless they have Black ancestry. I think that the safest way to avoid that is to, before you do a deep dive on any story, you figure out if that person is completely clean and has foundationally Black ancestry, so that you can speak about it. Because otherwise you would be hypocritical for speaking on things that don't involve your group, because that's the goal. You want your group to be foundational, and no one else can speak on anything that's not foundational. You sit everything out, which is another part of Black culture. Sitting everything out that doesn't have anything to do with them. Line dancing, which is a part of Black culture. I'm just giving you example. And I thought about this because I am watching the P. Diddy documentary, and I'm looking and I'm thinking, this is kind of, you know, crazy, because Biggie represent the East Side and Pac represent the West Side. And I know that Biggie was first generation Jamaican. His mother was of Jamaican ancestry, but yet he was repping the East Side in America. And I know that back then, this is listen, I understand that Black people make this argument now, because I never heard this argument back then. This is why I think I'm Black. I'm not a young person either. So I know that this is a new argument. This is the evolution of the Black community to try to ostracize people and silence people from speaking. But I do think that it's very hypocritical to say that when to claim people when they're not of the ancestry. And I do think that it is dangerous for us to keep separating ourselves because of ancestry. Why would your ancestry matter when I'm an American citizen and I live in America with Black skin? And no one is enforcing that. Only the Black community. The Black community is enforcing that, not white people. White people are not requiring me to give my ancestry. They're just saying, are you a citizen or not? Black people are going to the pits of hell to say, what's your ancestry? Just saying. That should be classified as Black culture as well. I could easily make a list of Black people that have contributed to the success of America who had other than, you know, foundationally Black ancestry. There's a lot of celebrities. There's a lot of important people that don't just have Black American ancestry. And I'm not going to do it because you guys have Google. And I'm not going to feed this this generation's obsession with not using their common sense, but going on deep dives to show proof about everything and to argue until your head hurts. It's common sense. And you can do a small Google search to find out those people, especially in the celebrity world. There's so many Black celebrities that are upheld who do not have straight American ancestry, and they are considered Black because they're just entertaining you and, you know what I mean, contributing to you, and you like their music or whatever. And I just think that it doesn't make any sense for black people to adapt this part of white supremacy, because that's what it is. It's the white supremacist ideology of separatism and to divide and conquer. That is what you guys are adapting. And this is why, again, let's bring back to the beginning. You need to make a list about what your culture represents. And if it represents white supremacy and white culture, just say that. Just say that. And stop saying that you want to be liberated and free. Say you want to be integrated and you want to mimic what was already in place when you were brought here. When your ancestors were brought here, I'm sorry.